And on to the recent revelations by the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakang'o, on how the National Treasury over-budgeted her salary by 3 times and by extension salaries of other state officers. A blunder that may cost the country over 1 billion shillings in taxpayer money. Now, Serfine Achieng Ouma breaks down the latest allegation of budgeted corruption that not only seems to threaten the efforts by the Kenya Kwanza government to tame corruption and public debt, but raises fundamental questions on the effectiveness of Parliament's oversight role in the budget overall process.
The damning revelation by the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakang'o, did not come as a surprise, but a confirmation of the continued trend of schemes to steal from public coffers. Nyakang'o, who appeared before the National Dialogue Committee on Tuesday, detailed how the National Treasury has been over-budgeting salaries of senior government officials through the Consolidated Fund Services. Nyakang'o revealed how puzzling it was that the National Treasury budgeted 3 times what she was actually receiving as her actual salary.
The exaggerations are in the National Treasury, and let me just give one example. When I was doing the budget for Consolidated Fund Services, this is where my salary is paid from. I found out that my salary was budgeted at 3 times what I'm paid.
In the 2022-2023 financial year, for instance, Treasury originally budgeted her annual salary as 17.82 million shillings, prompting her office to raise concerns as the figure was way above what she was actually taking home annually. Treasury would only reduce that amount to 10.15 million, which was still higher than her 9.18 million shillings annual salary. A similar trend was observed in the 2023-2024 budget, where Treasury budgeted her salary at 18.35 million, an amount that is about 93% more than her actual annual salary of 9.51 million shillings.
I am the only state officer in my institution. So there's nothing like confusion there. I'm all alone. So I asked them, why is the budget showing 3 times what my annual salary is? And it was like that for all the state officers.
What was the answer, madam?
Chairman, I have not received the answer to date.
Treasury also budgeted for 42.4 million shillings as salaries and allowances for the President and his deputy, yet their actual gazetted salaries are 32.05 million shillings, a difference of 10.35 million shillings. Nyakang'o's revelation suggesting that they are not the only casualties, with the anomalies cutting across senior government officials paid through the Consolidated Fund Services. Among them, the President and his deputy, the Auditor General, IEBC Chairperson, Vice Chairperson and Commissioners, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Attorney General, among other state officers whose salaries are over-budgeted, only for the funds to disappear during the supplementary budget. The discrepancies between the original budget and actual salaries for state officers under the Consolidated Fund Services in the 2023-2024 financial year, adding up to over 1.5 billion shillings, monies whose trail Nyakang'o says cannot be traced. She is calling for an immediate audit on the issue to seal the loophole of what she terms as budgeted corruption. Nyakang'o's revelation lifts the lead on the avoidable reasons for the country's debt crisis, as it is now emerging that with the mere exaggerations on expenditure, the government may actually need less than what is being presented in its budget.
We found some ambiguous definitions of the loans, and the Treasury could not tell us what really we were going to do with those loans.
The revelations coming amidst declining tax revenues, with the Kenya Revenue Authority recently admitting missing its revenue target for the first quarter of the current financial year by up to 79 billion shillings, coming against a backdrop of concerns over the high cost of living and taxation structures that seem to burden the already overburdened taxpayers.
There are 14 million households in Kenya. As we demonstrated, for the lowest 20% of households, their income over the last 1 year has shrunk by 30% relative to the prices of food. Those people need help.
This revelation not only pours cold water on efforts by the Kenya Kwanza government to tame corruption, but raises fundamental questions on the effectiveness of Parliament's oversight role in the budget approval process. Serfine Achieng Ouma, Citizen TV.